We are the anchors of Queer News Tonight, and this evening we discuss the queer headlines. Adele's film debut, Miss Piggy's new movie, a queer Christmas carol, and West Hollywood sightings headline Hotspots magazine's latest LGBTQ forward issue.
14 fresh queens enter season 18, honoring Drag Race legends with reinvented looks, fierce challenges, and high-stakes drama on MTV in January 2026.
Biden receives Chris Abele Impact Award, celebrated for historic LGBTQ+ inclusion as advocates gather amid rising threats under Trump's second administration.
A viral Reddit thread uncovers candid conservative perspectives, showing most don't oppose LGBTQ+ people, citing extremism and politics, not identity, as tension.
Mamdani, New York City's first Muslim mayor-elect, outlines expansive LGBTQ+ protections including gender-affirming care, sanctuary policies, and a fully funded queer affairs office.
All this important LGBTQ+ news and more this evening on Queer News Tonight. Welcome to Queer News Tonight. This is the world's first and only LGBTQ daily news television show, broadcasting live and available on demand on your favorite streaming channels.
Analytics company vidIQ has certified that Queer News Tonight YouTube channel as the world's most popular LGBTQ+ streaming news show. Our queer stories have reached over 11 million views. We are proud that Queer News Tonight has more YouTube subscribers than any other LGBTQ+ brand in Florida.
We thank you for watching and supporting our voice in our rainbow family. There is no other news program in the LGBTQ world like Queer News Tonight.
It is Wednesday, December 3rd. We are live and literally out of the closet and into the headlines. So many of your important stories we'll tell this evening on Queer News Tonight.
You're watching Queer News Tonight, the world's first daily LGBTQ evening news show.
Welcome to the world's most important LGBTQ evening news show.
Hotspots magazine, Happening Out Television Network, is a nonprofit 501c3 media company in the same model as PBS and NPR, but created for the LGBTQ+ community. Our nonprofit mission is to support the 11 pillars of our community. We want to inform and educate the key issues of lesbian, trans, Latino, Black, healthcare, seniors, students, faith, social justice, business, and queer culture. Help us support our diverse community.
We are part of one of the largest LGBTQ nonprofit media companies in America, Hotspots Magazine and Happening Out Television Network. In 2025, our magazine is celebrating 40 years of the LGBTQ experience, and Queer News Tonight is celebrating our 5th anniversary with more than 11,000 LGBTQ television stories. We present South Florida's major LGBTQ events, including Pride Fort Lauderdale, Stonewall Pride, and Pride Fete. Our magazine, events, television, news, talk, and entertainment shows support our mission to educate the LGBTQ and broader community.
In 2025, more than 100 community leaders will sit at this very table and share their voice as our anchors. Together, we host this show to support the LGBTQ community. Let's meet this evening's anchors at Queer News Tonight. Let's welcome back to the table my friend, anchor Edward Otto Zielke, an accomplished brand influencer and marketing leader with a dynamic background in financial services and travel marketing. Edward currently serves as the Director of Marketing and Sponsorship for the world-famous Gay Men's Chorus of South Florida. He also serves in his spare time on the Gala Chorus's Communications Committee. Yeah. Edward, GMCSF's Holiday Sleigh Ride is on December 9th at Hard Rock Live. Tell me what's happening out.
Thanks, Faye. Holiday Sleigh Ride is about to light up Hard Rock Live, and the Gay Men's Chorus of South Florida is serving a full dose of festive fun. This year's concert brings classic carols, pop flair, and a proud sense of LGBTQ+ joy. Audiences will hear new campy rewrites, including Pink Christmas, a holiday take on Holding Out for a Hero, and Hey Big Santa, along with favorites like Te Deseo Feliz Navidad, The Little Drummer Boy, Christmas Baby Please Come Home, and Kelly Clarkson's Underneath the Tree. It's a night designed to sparkle while lifting the chorus's mission to inspire audiences, open minds, and change hearts. VIP guests can enjoy a private reception with cocktail treats, plus a ticket to Hard Rock the Holidays, where GMCSF singers will be caroling daily through the end of 2025. And if you want a little adventure in your holiday season, the chorus is also hosting a Machu Picchu raffle at the bit.ly/GMCSF_raffle. Holiday Sleigh Ride takes place on December 9th at 8 p.m. Tickets are available now at gmcsf.org. And I want to also shout out our wonderful sponsors, our Amplified season sponsor, Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino Hollywood, our presenting sponsors, Can Community Health and the Bears of South Florida, and our concert sponsors, Amazon and Tito's Handmade Vodka. This is a jam-packed concert. We just can't wait to get out there and perform it.
Oh, and I can't wait to see it. You know, I love watching your social media when it comes to GMCSF because the videos are always like you're there, right? You know, it's better if you're there. Trust me, right? But I just saw the one for the sleigh and there's this hunky guy dressed as Santa and then it goes to the choir and the choir's all singing in Spanish, right? I mean, I didn't even know that. I was like, oh my God, these guys sing in Spanish also? Like, that's amazing.
Yeah, you know, we try to make sure that we're, you know, not just celebrating Christmas, obviously, but we're, you know, giving nods to Kwanzaa and
Hanukkah and yes,
and
of
also
course,
the Latin communities and everybody that celebrates this time of year. So we like to make sure that our repertoire is always including and everything.
And a gay chorus event is not just a chorus event. Like, or I just went to the Miami Gay Men's Chorus, I think, 2 weekends ago, and that really made it feel like Christmas to me.
Right.
You know, just seeing them performing, and they always add some extra spice to it. While you were reading this, I was just thinking, next year, rock hard at Hard Rock.
Wow. That's a good
wow. Rock hard at Hard Rock. I
And we might have some really great sexy Santas. You know, if you're going to come and see this show, we've got a couple of them dancing for us in that Hey Big Santa number.
Oh, I was going to ask about that.
That's going to be kind of a little risque. So definitely check that out. And we got a whole bunch of dancing Santas from Holding Out for a Hero, Bonnie Tyler's Christmas. Amazing. So yeah, there's going to be some drag queens. There's going to be a lot of fun. So definitely.
I love that. And it's December 8th, right?
December 9th.
December 9th. And that's really going to kick off the holiday spirit, like you said, right? I mean, come on, and it gets no better than Hard Rock Live. That space, there is not a bad seat in that place.
Exactly.
Okay? So get your tickets today, because Queer News Tonight looks forward to seeing you at GMCSF's Holiday Sleigh Ride on December 9th. Let's welcome back to the table the cutie himself, TriniDaddy. He's a violinist and pianist with the Miami City Ballet and is the program director for the Seminole Theater Players in Homestead. TriniDaddy, the Nutcracker. I knew you were going to talk about this sooner or later this season. The Nutcracker is coming to the Arsht Center from December 12th. Tell me what's happening out.
From December 12th, Miami City Ballet presents George Balanchine's The Nutcracker at the Adrian Arsht Center, transforming Miami into a magical winter adventure. Over 100 dancers, a live orchestra, and dazzling sets bring Tchaikovsky's iconic score to life as swirling snowflakes, the Sugar Plum Fairy, and a tropical twist on winter enchant audiences. Guests are encouraged to arrive early for a free Land of Sweets pre-show experience featuring festive surprises and treats. Perfect for families, friends, and coworkers with group savings for 10+. More details at MiamiCityBallet.org. So, yes, it is that time of the year where us musicians make a little extra dough. I'm so happy for it.
Deserved.
Yes.
Thank you.
I'm the violinist. I also am the celesta player. So that little Sugar Plum Fairy.
That noise music
that's
would be you.
Me every year. And I always think, you know, I could totally change up everything. I've thought in my brain, like, the day that I just go scorched earth, I'm just going to play, like, the Darth Vader theme when they come out and they're like, what are we going to have? But seriously, it's a...
But you don't.
I don't.
But you don't.
But I think it's a wonderful experience. They call it the Nutcracker 2.0 when we came back after not having it for so many years because Isaac Mizrahi designed a lot of the costumes. And they changed it, the colors and everything, to make it a little bit more on the tropical side, but it still keeps it in the traditional, say, the same music. land of sweets that happens beforehand. It's something that they've been doing recently. I think in the past 2 years, they have these interactive kind of art exhibits with projections, 360 projections in the Peacock Room that you can go in and bring your kids or whatever ballet it happens to be. They have something that's interactive for you to walk in. You go down this pathway, you go inside there, and then they have this whole interactive experience, which is really fun to do.
That's very cool.
And I've totally stealing it for Seminole Theater. We're going to be doing it next year. But that's the way you bring in people, is that you got to have something a little extra these days. So it's really fun. It really does. You know, we say the gay man's chorus, that rings in Christmas. If that's not necessarily your thing and you want to bring your kids and not see leather Santas, like this is the place for you to go and really ring in the Christmas spirit. It's wonderful, and it snows in there. It's
you know, and that's kind of what I was thinking about, right? Like it's the holidays, all the snowbirds are back in town, right? And you know, families range from kids to older people, right? And you know, I can't take you to the Eagle behind the tire like I would like to, right? But you can go to the Nutcracker, and that is something for the whole entire family to enjoy. I know families here in South Florida that's their tradition. Every year, that is what they do as a family. Like, I mean, that's a beautiful thing to do.
It's something that I related to. It's something that you traditionally see and that you go and partake in, and so you get to be a part of the musicians. Props to you, because we love our musicians.
Yes, we do.
They are so important for the chorus and for the ballets and everything that, you know, so yeah, no, the arts are definitely something that we should be more invested in.
Wow.
Especially during the holidays.
Well, and I don't know if you folks at home heard that, but Trini said that this production was almost canceled because of funding, right? That's sad.
Well, this season, you know, having musicians, live musicians for the entire season was really difficult. And last season, we got the acts on a couple of the programs. So everybody loves the live music. Everybody loves the stores that go out of business, you know, but they usually love it too late. You know, remember the things that you love now, like
love them now.
Support. Yeah. You got to support to keep them around.
Love them now. All right. And this is a whole production, dancers, singers, violinists, all kinds of instruments being played, a candy corner. They've got so much to just enjoy with your family. So make sure that you do so. All right. Queer News Tonight looks forward to seeing you at the Nutcracker at the Arsht Center from December 12th.
And of course, let's welcome tonight's lead anchor, FayWhat. She is legendary events host, television and radio personality, and the host of Hotspots Happening Out's The FayWhat Show. Faye, Impulse Group Miami's first erotic kink party will be at Casa Nube on December 13th. Tell us what's happening now.
So, folks, on December 13th, Casa Nube transforms into a boundary-breaking playground. Yes, take that in. So Impulse Miami presents the Kink Party, a multi-sensory, sex-positive nightlife and art experience, running 9 p.m. to 3 a.m. Guests are invited to explore a world where pleasure, power, and creativity collide through intimate workshops, erotic performances, art showcases, and kinky play zones. The night also features raffle prizes, on-site testing, prep and pep, sign-ups, plus food and drinks to fuel the adventure. Attendees are encouraged to dress in pup, kink, or leather, or simply come as you are, baby. It's all good. Headliner Seven Deep. Excuse me. Headliner Seven Deep leads the immersive celebration. All right. This is going to be a whole lot of fun. I love Viv Healthcare and everything that they're doing to be a part of this. And, you know, this is just going to be something safe. You know, it's going to feature an intimacy workshop room, right? Hosted by Daddy D and Aya Spa Lounge, a dance floor called the Playroom, adult lounge called the Naughty Room, entertainers like Damian Lenore, who is just so hot, Adonis, who is another hottie, Seven, Crave Melanin, and Carla Croqueta, who is also an incredible drag queen, for show-stopping erotic performances and play in some kinky areas. Tickets are just $10 on Eventbrite, 21 and over. And, you know, at the end of the day, the focus of this is just to advocate for community, for liberation, for teaching consent, safety, and accountability to one another. And I think that that's just a wonderful thing. You know, maybe some of us are kinky, maybe some of us are not kinky, but this is a wonderful way to maybe explore that side that maybe you've shunned for all these years. You know, I mean, it's a safe, wonderful way to do so.
Yeah, I think if we are all honest with ourselves, the people who are actually telling you about their sex lives, your friends, whatever, a lot of people are not having good sex. They're not having great sex lives. And I always think that the world would be a better place if everybody was having good sex. Like, you know, I really do think, you know, it's that old joke. It's like, oh, they need to get laid or whatever. I think it's true. I really do. I think if you're having good sex whenever you want it during the week, like, it's just hard to be that miserable of a person. You know?
Why don't you really say, if those Republicans, if they really were having good sex, they wouldn't hate us as much.
That's the next segment. Yeah, and I think that a lot of people they just don't know how to talk about it. They don't know how to tell their partner what they want or how to explore. And maybe you have been wanting to bring this up with your partner, but you just haven't figured out the right way. And this is a great jumping off point to go see some things and be like, hey,
what do you think about this?
Since we're already here and they're doing this, like, what do you think if we try that?
Right?
You know?
Right?
So I think it's a great way for people who are into that, like into exploring, to go to this place in a safe environment and just see what might tickle your fancy.
Yeah, because you know what keeps us away from certain things? Fear or not knowing, right? This is such an educational tool as well. You know, if there are people who maybe are interested in just bringing some spice into their life, or maybe they've always wanted to check out kink. Who knows? You know, safe space to do so. Impulse Group is giving you that space, and it's their first. I can't believe it's their first erotic kink party. You know, what a wonderful way to like get your feet wet. Or other things wet, you know, however that works, right? You know, and Jamal L. Starks will be there guiding you throughout. If you need some help, find him. He's the really, really hot guy. He'll be one of many hot guys there because let me tell you, if the Lenore, if Damien is there, Seven is there, Adonis are there, you're going to have plenty of stuff for your eyes to look at as well.
This sounds pretty amazing. I think I'm going to have to go check it out myself. Queer News Tonight looks forward to seeing you at the Kink Party in Casa Nube on December 13th.
I'm FayWhat, and let's queer up gay culture. Hotspots magazine dives into Hollywood's queerest upcoming projects. Our Hotspots Happening Out LGBTQ lifestyle magazine, Hotspots, is back with features on the latest LGBTQ forward buzz in Hollywood, including Adele's upcoming acting debut, Miss Piggy's big moment, and a queer twist on a Christmas classic. Adele is preparing to step onto the big screen in Tom Ford's Cry to Heaven, adapted from the 1982 Anne Rice novel. She joins an all-star cast, including Nicholas Hoult, Aaron Taylor-Johnson, and trans actress Hunter Schafer. The film is set to begin shooting in early 2026, with a likely 2027 release. Meanwhile, Jennifer Lawrence revealed on the Las Culturistas podcast that she and Emma Stone are producing a Miss Piggy-led movie written by Cole Escola. Lawrence said they will, quote, probably appear in the film, though nothing is confirmed. Also on the horizon is a gay Christmas Carol starring Ian McKellen and Trammell Tillman, with Johnny Depp as Scrooge and T.I. West directing. A November 2026 release is promised, and rumors are swirling in West Hollywood, where Shahs of Sunset star Reza Gigi and MJ were spotted filming around Gigi's Persian food truck. This feature story and many more are included in your free copy of the upcoming issue of Hotspots magazine on stands this Thursday, December 4th. That's tomorrow. I love Hotspots magazine. They always have something interesting to look through. Last time it was a bunch of like different gifts for your queerest people in your family, which it went from like $10 stuffing stocking stuffers to $100 bottles of wine. It was wonderful. So this also like gets us into the spirit with the Hollywood, info of like what's going on for Christmas. I am a big fan of Shahs of Sunset. Okay. I mean, it's like one of those like little, guilty pleasures of mine, where I started watching it during COVID and they had like 23 seasons. So I just kept up on it. And the people that are in it are Reza, Gigi, and MJ. So if they're filming something, that makes me interested to see what they're going to come up with next. What else? Adele can do no wrong in my book. So whatever she wants to do, come and bring it. We love Adele. We love Adele with Manjaro, without Manjaro, with the love of her life, without the love of her life. We love her regardless. What were you going to say about Adele?
No, I wasn't going to say anything about Adele, but I was actually looking forward to seeing the article about Jennifer Lawrence and Emma Stone, about the Miss Piggy thing, because it's being written by Cole Escola, who just just did the Mary.
Oh, Mary?
Yes, Oh Mary.
Oh my God, yes! Oh my God, I saw Oh Mary in New York and it was an hour and a half. I didn't stop laughing from beginning to end.
So you know this is going to.
So it's got to be some good stuff. Oh my God, I didn't even notice that. Great catch.
Well, what they need to do is, I don't know if they've already shot it. They haven't filmed it yet. I think there's just rumors. They have to put in a scene where some orange goon is saying "Quiet, Piggy" when she walks down the street, and she does her signature karate chop, and then there's like a big orange mess on the ground. Like, if you've already shot it, you need to add that in. Like,
Yes.
I think that would just be comedy gold.
Yes, and have AI throw like Cheetos, like when he hits the floor and like it just all these Cheetos just come up.
Make sure you get credit for that.
Yes, please.
Right?
And rock hard at Hard Rock.
And rock hard at Hard Rock.
I'm Edward Otto Zielke, and let's queer up drag culture. RuPaul's Drag Race returns with 14 new queens and a promise of light for season 18. RuPaul's Drag Race sachets back to TV screens this January 2026, bringing fresh faces, fierce fashion, and its new guiding mantra, "In shady times, let there be light." Season 18 lands on MTV with 14 new queens entering the workroom to compete for the coveted title of America's Next Drag Superstar, a dazzling $200,000 cash prize. The premiere episode kicks off with a challenge rooted in legacy and reinvention. Titled Reclaim, Renew, Rejoice, it asks the queens to pay tribute to drag race icons by transforming leftover treasures from the show's vaults in their own signature looks, putting charisma, uniqueness, nerve, and talent front and center. Among the standout contestants are Miami's own Athena Dion, drag mother to Morphine Love Dion and Juicy Love Dion, who is also competing. West Palm Beach brings us Mia Starr. They join a diverse cast representing cities across the country, from Miami, Boston, Seattle, and New York to Denver, Orlando, and Montgomery. Right after the premiere, fans can dive deeper into with RuPaul's Drag Race Untucked at 9:30 p.m., serving up backstage tension and heartfelt moments as the queens await their fate. I think this is my favorite time of the year, when the new season of Drag Race comes out. It follows right after the holidays, and it just continues with my spirit, because you know what? We desperately need some joy, and this season sounds pretty amazing. And just the fact that they're doing like a reclaim, renew, rejoice, it sounds like, you know, they're really revving up the troops with this season.
Well, and the mantra, let's talk about the mantra. I love that. In shady times, let there be light. Like, don't we need that like on t-shirts and like everywhere we go? Because that's like so what we feel, you know? So I was watching The View this morning, and they always end The View with, "We're in this together," you know, like, do not worry, we're in this together. So I love mantras like this to just remind us that we're not alone, you know? Now, speaking of not being alone, like, this is the 18th season of RuPaul's Drag Race, okay? Miami queens, South Florida queens weren't even on the show for like the first 12 or 13 years, guys. Okay, sorry for getting out of frame, Steve. I get excited, right? And then now it's like they've opened the floodgates, and like you're not going to be able to stop us now, you know? Mia Starr is amazing. She's a South Florida queen. She lives in West Palm Beach. She's always down here in Fort Lauderdale and always in Miami, doing her thing, spreading her love, and showing her talent. Incredibly talented girl, all right? Then we go and we move on to Juicy. Juicy is a beautiful woman. She does her makeup incomparable. Nobody can step up to that. Plus, she's an incredible dancer, right? To win RuPaul's Drag Race, you have to be able to know how to make your own clothing, dance, keep up, be funny, and be also an actor. I mean, there's so much, and you know, of course, the lip sync and everything else, your stage presence, but it takes a lot to be America's next drag superstar, right? And Juicy and Mia have that. Then we talk about one of my really good friends, Athena Dion, right? Athena has been on The View. She's Anna Navarro's favorite drag queen, okay? She has represented us everywhere she goes in such an incredible way. Athena looks young and beautiful because she's a Greek goddess underneath all of that makeup, right? But she's been doing drag for almost 11, 12 years. That experience, that know-how, right? They might think of her as not a threat because of, her youth looking, right? Or maybe her demeanor, because she's also, she comes across as very nice, but she could be a conniving, cutthroat bitch. And these people don't know that. You know what I mean? Like, she's a mom to like 10 or 12 kids. Yeah. Like, there's drag kids coming out of her everywhere. That uterus of hers must be just flaying in the wind at this point with how many kids come out of her.
Well, she need to snatch up her girl Plain Jane, because, I got beef with her. But I think this is the first... Is this the first Drag Race where they have the mother and daughter on the same season?
Yep, first season.
That's going to be a really interesting dynamic, because, they're always trying to figure out their strategy.
Yes.
So they're already probably have a target on their back, because they're already going to be in an alliance.
Yeah, they're going to want to split them up.
Exactly.
Yeah, but that's exactly what I thought for Project Runway. Okay, Project Runway's last season with Utica, love you Utica, had twins in it. They were brothers, right? And the whole entire, it's like having two here competing instead of one, because one would help the other, during all the testing or whatever, right? Well, those two brothers ended up in the finale and nobody was able to get them out, So.
Well, there's talent too. Yeah. So talent,
100%. 100%.
And I'm going to echo what you guys said. And I love that this theme is about bringing some light, because they know that there's a lot of darkness in the world, especially around LGBTQ plus issues.
Yep.
So I love that they're going to put a focus on that. And I hope it's going to be more about just having fun and just being happy. Because I have been going through all of my old TV shows that I used to watch to try to bring me some happiness, because there's so much garbage on television, all the political shows, and I'm a news junkie, so I'm always watching that.
Yeah.
And then I finished Desperate Housewives, I finished True Blood, and I'm like, the only thing left now I saw on Netflix was the Ed Gein documentary. It's what they they base like Buffalo Bill and the.
It's not exactly a holiday movie, but
yeah.
Isn't that about a serial killer?
Yeah.
All right, please don't mess up my segment by veering off into something else. Go back to RuPaul's Drag Race, please.
So that and Black Mirror is what I've been watching. So I'm desperately waiting for RuPaul's Drag Race. And it's been a while. Like, normally there's always something going on.
But I remember, but I think they're also coming out with a movie too. I think.
Yes, they are.
That Glamazon.
Yes, they're coming out with. Can you believe that they're coming out with a movie also next year as well?
I just feel like, please, RuPaul, don't leave us for like this amount of time anymore. we need to keep this going. Like, we're dying here.
No, you gotta feed the gays. You gotta feed the gays.
Yeah. Keep those crazy videos going. They're absolutely hilarious. When he's out there just being himself.
Just being him.
Just being him.
Yeah.
That's what we need.
RuPaul Charles, we love you. Okay, keep doing what you do. You have given our girls an incredible platform and ability to make their own careers and give themselves a future. I know girls that are on their third piece of property. All right, okay. So thank you, RuPaul, for all you've done and continue to do, and congratulations to our hometown girls that are going to be competing. Athena won't tell me anything. She's never been so quiet about anything, right?
I was so happy they showed that picture of the two of you at the ball.
Oh, yes.
She was at the ball last month, and I was so thrilled.
She needs some glasses.
So congratulations to all of them.
Yes, congratulations, folks.
I'm TriniDaddy, and let's queer up politics. Biden to receive top LGBTQ plus leadership honor amid rising anti-equality attacks. Former President Joe Biden will receive the Chris Abele Impact Award on Friday at the LGBTQ+ Victory Institute's 41st International LGBTQ+ Leaders Conference in Washington, D.C., a gathering long considered a political pulse check for LGBTQ+ Americans. For many advocates, the honor caps what they view as the most inclusive administration in U.S. history. Biden appointed a record number of queer officials, reinstated and expanded federal protections, restored transgender military service, and elevated leaders, including Pete Buttigieg, Admiral Rachel Levine, Ambassador Chantal Wong, and Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre. Victory Institute President and CEO Evan Lowe said, quote, President Biden has shown unwavering commitment to ensuring LGBTQ+ people can participate fully and openly in our democracy, end quote. The award comes at a tense moment for the LGBTQ+ people, especially trans Americans under President Donald Trump's second administration, as political aggression, misinformation, and state-sanctioned erasure accelerate. More than 700 leaders will attend the conference as a record number of LGBTQ+ candidates prepare for 2026. You know, it's well-deserved. I actually kind of forgot how much he did
Right.
for minority communities.
Yep.
It started kind of with Obama when he made his turnaround in his second administration. And this seems to be an extension because Joe Biden was the vice president at that time. And it was like, you know, the counter to the whole Donald Trump era that happened the administration before.
Yeah.
So it was like, it was such a breath of fresh air to be like, oh, finally we've evolved past that. And now we're here again. You know, like it's, it's a well-deserved award, and I do think that pendulum is going to be swinging back, you know, and hopefully in the midterms. But yes, congratulations, Joe Biden. Thank you for everything that you've done, and I do think that you have moved us forward, even though we might take a couple steps back. I do think that has helped us go into the next few years where we're going to make a comeback. So thank you.
I love that. You know, say whatever the hell you want to say about Biden, but he has the receipts, and his receipts are longer than the CVS receipt that you get when you get out from there. That's long as hell. You know, you don't put a record amount of queer officials in office by accident. You know what I mean? He did that intentionally, right? And he was the president that supported our community more than anybody in history. You know, you can't take that away from him. So I agree with you, Trini, that this award is so deserved and needed. You know, folks need to see that, like, we're still giving awards like this because people are still good.
And a black woman on the Supreme Court too.
And it's so inspiring. You know, we were at that point in history, we were just coming out of the pandemic, and I think we were all just so exhausted with everything that had happened. So seeing leaders that were LGBTQ plus, like Pete Buttigieg and Karine Jean-Pierre, you know, when I used to watch her on the screen, you know, I was like, wow, this is so historic. Seeing these people in these positions, even for just the time that they were there. And they will continue into being there in years to come. But, you know, congratulations, Joe. This was absolutely
I have to say,
amazing.
One thing that probably... it's wonderful that he put all those people into those positions. I think maybe the most emotional moment for LGBT folks during that administration was when he lit the White House up in rainbow colors. And I thought, I don't know why, but it made me feel safe. It made me feel like, you know, walking down the street, because as gay men, gay women, we still look twice.
Of course.
You know, when we're holding hands with a partner. And I always think every time I hold hands with somebody that, man, there still needs to be more work. If I still keep looking around, like there's
it's
more
like automatic,
work that needs to be done.
Yes,
you know?
of course. And, you know, that you mentioned that about Biden and the White House in rainbow colors. I also have to mention for World AIDS Day that he had the quilt for the very first time, parts of the quilt on the front lawn of the White House, right? You go from that to President Trump not even acknowledging World AIDS Day and not allowing anybody else to do so. I mean,
when that happens, you feel like, you know what, if somebody does come for me, like the government has my back.
Yeah.
Like
they know I'm here.
People in power have my back, you know, and unfortunately that wasn't the case before. It's like you don't even report stuff because you're like, they're just going to make fun of you, you know, when you go into the police station or something like that. So that is a really big deal for me, and that's hopefully we'll get back there.
Yeah. I'm FayWhat, and let's queer up the USA view. Conservatives say LGBTQ plus doesn't bother us. Surprising answers go viral. A new Reddit thread is sparking national conversation after a user asked conservative Americans, quote, "Why does the LGBTQ plus seem to bother you so much?" End quote. The answers are unexpectedly candid. While conservative politics and anti-LGBTQ plus policies often go hand in hand, several respondents insisted that queer people don't personally bother them. One user said, quote, "It doesn't really bother most Republicans either. It's just a convenient demonization to get poor people to forget you're robbing them blind, like immigrants," end quote. Another added, quote, "I think you will find that most conservatives just want people to make their own decisions and live their own lives," end quote. Others push back against the idea that conservatives broadly oppose LGBTQ plus people, writing, quote, "Yeah, I don't care. Most conservatives, aside from the hardcore Christians, also don't care," end quote. Several pointed to extremism, not queerness, as the real source of tension. One commentator said, quote, "In my experience, very, very few Republicans or even conservatives really care. The ones that do are a vocal minority," end quote. Still, a few users echoed familiar talking points about kids and sports, reflecting the influence of recent anti-trans bills and President Trump's executive orders. For many LGBTQ plus viewers, the thread offers a rare look at how everyday conservatives view our community beyond political headlines. Now we don't bother you? Oh, sweetie, the comment section is always braver than the voting booth, okay? But honestly, it's refreshing to see that some conservatives admit the culture war is just a distraction while the rich run off with the purse. If more people talked like this Reddit thread, we'd solve half of our problems by brunch. And I really am excited to see what you are going to say, because you are my conservative gay guru, so to speak. You pass time in these forums that a lot of us are afraid to even look into.
Yeah, I grew up that way. I still have a lot of red MAGA friends, and I try to tell people at this table all the time, they really don't care that you're gay. All right, when you go into these PragerU and other conservative sites, a lot of that is just the fringe and the bots. A lot of them are bots that are like some kind of paid advertisement things that just say bullshit.
Right.
But for the most part, I think that liberals get it wrong, or gay people, LGBTQ folks get it wrong, that conservatives don't like gay people. In general, they don't care. What they care about is not being told what they have to say and how they have to label and how they have to think about people. Right. It's more of like a rebellious attitude, which you see that a little bit more, but it's on both sides. Like they want to say, all right, I consider you a trans person. I don't really care. Just don't tell me that I have to say these words and I have to say this, and like, let me be me and I will let you be you. And as long as we have that mutual respect, people can be friends with each other. You can run in the circles. And then that's when our eyes are open to what the politicians are doing that are just using it for wedge issues to, score points. But conservative people really do not care about people's sexuality by and large. Of course, they're fringes, but I do hope that people in our community realize that and they approach them more, because the more we can build bridges and friendships with people who are not like us, the more currency we have in our political world.
Yeah, it's the extremism that they're really afraid of. It's like when we have to be vocal and when we have to really let our voices be heard because we're concerned about a particular issue, it kind of, I think, to me kind of feels like, well, that's none of my business. I don't really care about it. Don't put it in my face, And I also come from conservative people, a family as well. So, I get that loud and clear too. But there are a lot of times where we have to stand up for ourselves, and sometimes we need advocates to talk about things for us that are not being addressed, especially in the trans community. So I think that we definitely are in for better times, hopefully.
Oh my God.
Well, talk about it respectfully. Because if you go into a conversation with a conservative about like, no, you need to believe it this way, it's going to do is make that divide larger. So you have to be respectful about it. And I think both sides have a problem with this. Far left, far right, when they start talking about, whatever subject it is, it's like, if you don't agree with me, you're a racist, you're a this, you're a that. And other people, one of the most triggering things is for somebody to be called a racist who doesn't feel that they're a racist.
That they are.
And maybe they are, but maybe they aren't. And they're like, maybe you should hear what I feel on the subject because you think that I think this, but I don't.
It's about proper communication and learning how to communicate with one another. Because when you say triggering things like that, it sparks a reaction. And that's what people are reacting to.
Of course. And we're putting everybody in a box, right? When we say, the far right, when we say conservatives, when we say Republicans, when we say Christians, right? Out of all of those, the ones I'm more fearful of are the Christians, and it's not, and they're not interchangeable, right? There's plenty of Republicans who are Republicans who believe in but respect us and respect our way of life and have no issues with us at all.
And there are plenty of conservative Christians that really don't feel like pushing any issue. They realize that's my religion and you guys do what you want to do. Don't come to my church and protest about gay rights and I won't go to your pride.
I'm Edward Otto Zielke and let's queer up politics. Mamdani vows to make New York City an LGBTQ plus sanctuary. New York City Mayor-elect Zohran Mamdani is laying out an ambitious LGBTQ plus rights agenda after his historic November 4th victory. becoming the city's first Muslim mayor and its youngest since 1892. Mamdani won more than 50% of the vote, powered by overwhelmingly LGBTQ plus support. Exit polls showed 81% of queer New Yorkers backed him over Andrew Cuomo, whose campaign struggled under sexual assault allegations. Mamdani built his platform on affordability, free public transit, subsidized childcare, city-run grocery stores, and rent freezes, but his queer commitments are just as sweeping. On his website, he warns, quote, "Queer and trans people across the United States are facing an increasingly hostile political environment. New York City must be a refuge for LGBTQIA plus people." His plan starts expanding gender-affirming care citywide. As the Trump administration continues rolling back protections and restricting trans health care for youth, Mamdani promises a $65 million investment in public providers, virtual care, aftercare, and gender-affirming access hub. He vows to hold private hospitals accountable if they deny care in violation of state law. Mamdani also pledges to designate New York an LGBTQ plus sanctuary city and create a fully funded office of LGBTQIA plus affairs, ensuring that queer New Yorkers live and thrive without the threat of persecution and bigotry. Well, it sounds like he's already making strides, moving mountains in New York City, and he's not even taken office yet. I mean, his whole plan just sounds so wonderful and inclusive.
Right.
What a novel idea, right?
You know, and I think New York City is just a perfect place for this, right? You know what I mean? Like, we're both from Jersey, and like, you know, we couldn't wait to run into the city as kids, you know? But I mean, think about this, all right? So he wants better transit. He wants to expand gender affirming care. He wants New York City to be a sanctuary city, you know, and also an LGBTQ plus office right there. I mean, that's a love letter to our community, like in every way. Like, this is what I expect and what we all expect from New York City to be. You know,
I think that, you know, I'm cautiously optimistic. You know, he's saying a lot of great things, and so we'll see how it plays out. But obviously,
deliver, of course.
New York wanted a change, and they voted for the change, you know, so we'll see how that goes. As far as his stance on LGBTQ plus people, like, that's amazing. I love that. I also think that Fox News has to decide if he is a Muslim that's going to put hijabs on all the women and
teach everybody Arabic,
Sharia
like
law. The Arabic numerals. Or is he the guy who's going to put on some poom poom shorts and sashay down the Pride Parade in New York City? So they have these two narratives going on about. Well,
like, because Trump loves him. Did you see him with Trump? That was the weirdest interaction I've ever seen. Like,
something happened.
He was like hot for him. Like, it was so weird.
We'll probably figure out or find out at some point what happened to make him, you know, change his mind so much about that. But I do think that, you know, the far right conservatives who are really painting him out to be this demonic character have to figure out where he lies on this. You know, is he a bad Muslim or is he just like a crazy liberal socialist?
Mamdani has a team of women behind him. All right, a ton of women are who do his marketing and branding, are the people who write all his stuff. He's got a team of incredible, intelligent women doing the damn thing, right? That's how he got so far, all right? Like, instead of pushing down women like Trump does, he's elevating them and using them. Like, he's a mastermind, all right? Again, like you said, cautiously optimistic. We haven't seen anything yet, right? But I'm hopeful. And he gave us some hope when he won, you know? Like,
and if it works out, it's like that becomes now the model for all the big cities.
Yes.
Like, if it can work there, and you can see that people will have
if
no
you can
problem
make it
with
there,
that.
you can make it anywhere.
Hey, New York, New York.
LGBTQ plus 1 minute news. Let's queer up business. Grinders. Grindr's chaotic bid to go private ends in silence. Grindr's month-long bid to go private has fizzled out, much like many chats on the app. Major shareholders Raymond Zage and James Liu couldn't secure the $1 billion in financing they needed. The company said, quote, the special committee has been unable to obtain satisfactory information about definitive financing, end quote. Grindr stock plunged 12%, echoing frustration from LGBTQ users long fed up with glitches, bots, and an ever-growing paywall. A Swedish short seller called the app, quote, a prime example of shitfication that leads to user exodus. And shitfication, all right? Sending shares tumbling further. CEO George Arison pushes a more corporate future, but users remain unconvinced. Listen, Grindr is great and it could, come apart at the Republican National Convention, of course, but I, for one, am really over the paywalls.
Well, as somebody who does pay, because you need to get out of 10 miles of Homestead.
100.
100. Grindr has gone to shit. That's the right word. And shitification. All right. It's devolved
changed, right?
So much in the past year that it is filled with bots. Like every day.
Every hour that he's on it.
You will get a notification as if somebody sent you a message. And when you check it, it's just a bot that's sending you an ad, but it is a fake profile. And it's somebody, and you realize, okay, this is a fake profile. Even though they're trying to make it seem like it's a real profile, it's obvious that it's fake. And I report everything because, I'm a see something, say something. I'm a Karen, right? So I'm a Grindr Karen.
He's a brown Karen.
I report everything on Grindr to administration.
And they don't care if it's bots.
And it's like, you know what? If the same company is sending you their website and it's a sham, like, why don't you just blacklist or that string of letters so that it doesn't keep coming back? And it comes back over and over multiple times a day. And so they're tapping into that algorithm that, when you get a notification, you look at your phone. So you're constantly looking at your phone for these bots that are in there. Tons of fake profiles, even the ones they say recommended for you. You can tell that they're
Still?
fake.
For real?
They're screenshots you can tell of some kind of porno movie. You're like, this is not even a real picture.
Wow.
So it's been terrible. And the price is getting higher and higher.
How much is it now for your paid?
Oh, gosh. I don't want to say the wrong one.
Is it 24?
That's for the mid-level one.
Okay.
And then the one without the paid ads. But like I'm saying, these aren't even the paid ads. They're making it seem like they're actual messages to you. So that one is like $50 or something.
A month?
Yeah, something crazy like that.
No es pa tanto, Trini. You're cute. Hazme favor, all right? You don't need to, I get it. If you're not a really good-looking person and you got the fake pictures and you got a long schlong, you got to use your Grindr, right? But you're a good-looking guy. You're okay. You don't have to pay $50 a month for Grindr.
No, just the mid-level one.
I've even logged on to this too as a free service, and and it is right. It's all full of spams and it's adsy, and the only way you could really do anything is if you subscribe. So maybe they should rethink their whole model.
Because the free one, they started taking away all the features that you normally got for free. So then it's like, why even have it if you can only see 10 people around?
Because you were able to, you weren't able to filter something from that one.
Right, you can't see a lot of profiles. You can't filter where you're looking with the city, all of that stuff. It's terrible, and I really hope they figure out a way to bring it back to life.
Meet people in real life.
Or, you know what? Somebody else give them competition, because they've kind of been having a monopoly on that type. I mean, there's other ones like
Scruff is not as good. It's just
right, but it's slightly different demographic.
Yes.
But let another company come out with targeting that same demographic and see how fast they change.
And lesbians, where are you at? Okay, I wanted to start an app called Grind Her, and it didn't even take off. It didn't even take off.
LGBTQ 1 Minute News. Let's queer up the USA view. Closeted Mississippi man admits to killing beloved gay student Jay Lee. A Mississippi man has pled guilty to second-degree murder in the killing of out gay University of Miami student Jimmy J. Lee. Sheldon Timothy Harrington Jr., 25, entered the plea Monday more than 3 years after Lee vanished on July 8, 2022. Lee, a beloved member of Oxford's LGBTQ+ community and drag performer J Diva, was 20. Harrington, who had been secretly involved with Lee, became the prime suspect after messages showed he lured Lee to meet him. Lee's remains were found this February. Harrington faces up to life in prison at sentencing Tuesday. This is just another sad story about people just not feeling like they can be themselves and having to do behaviors and hating themselves. And this is the ramifications that we're seeing from it.
Right. I mean, self-loathing is real, right? And sometimes it could get to the point where you want to harm somebody else. It's just that, because at this moment, like, we just lost 2 people of our community just like that.
Right.
I just want to make a clarification. I think you might have said University of Miami, University of Mississippi.
Yes, University of Mississippi.
It is. And yeah, it's a really sad story. We don't know much of the details about it, but what we do know is that people who tend to have the orientation or live a lifestyle similar to the man that was killed tend to be targets. And when you are part of a gay community, an LGBTQ+, a trans community, there's just something that seems, and I don't know exactly what it is and what the psychology is, but it just seems like those are people that are just easier to oppress, or that you feel like maybe subconsciously nobody's going to care as much about their demise or their problems. And so it just makes them an easy target, and we just have to do better. LGBTQ 1-minute news. Let's queer up gay culture. Long before the Vikings boys, Robin Williams made NFL cheer history in drag. Robin Williams briefly became the NFL's first male cheerleader on November 11th, 1979, when he hit the Denver Broncos field in a mashup of a cheer outfit and his Mork and Mindy costume. The bit spoofed Glenn Welch, the man who tried out for the Miami Dolphins cheer squad in 1978 and sparked national conversation. Nearly 50 years later, that conversation continues as the NFL had 71 male cheerleaders open the 2025 season across 11 different teams. As debates flare, Williams' playful moment reminds us that joyful self-expression on the field shouldn't be controversial. Well before I was a gay man, I used to watch all of those national cheerleading competitions, and that's amazing. That's like Olympic level talent. And I wish that they would expand the NFL cheer squads to have that element in it too. Like, whether you are homophobic or not, like, you can't help but, stand up and cheer when you see people do 5 backflips and,
gymnasts. I mean, they're so talented.
Yeah, and you got to throw those women up. You need some men to like really throw them up and to do all of those pyrotechnics. So, good on them. Keep it coming.
With just this story, I can't let the story end without mentioning Justine Lindsay. So Justine Lindsay is the NFL's first openly trans cheerleader. All right. She's a beautiful Black woman. She's gorgeous. She was playing for she was part of the Carolina Panthers. And because of the climate that we're in 3 months ago, she got cut and lost her job. And she was the only one in the NFL, and she was thriving, and it was amazing.
Amazing that we see that, it took a comedian like Robin Williams, who everybody pretty much respected, and could just do anything, and everybody just thought it was so funny to bring focus in on an issue like this. And then 40 years later, we're still like at the creasing of it. We've only got 71 it was in that. We should be far ahead of that.
Yeah.
We need our allies.
Oh yeah.
We do.
LGBTQ 1-minute news. Let's queer up lesbian and queer women. Out comedian Cameron Esposito and Katie Nishimoto welcome baby Yumi. Queer comedian and actor Cameron Esposito and their wife Katie Nishimoto are celebrating the arrival of their first child. Esposito announced on Instagram that they gave birth to Yumi Young Esposito Nishimoto on November 27th, writing, quote, "We are over the moon," end quote. Friends quickly chimed in with love. Leo Strang wrote, quote, "Oh my God, Yumi, congrats," end quote. And Blair Imani praised, saying, quote, "A whole stand-up special 1 week before giving birth. Next level legend behavior, mashallah," end quote. Esposito married Nishimoto in 2021 and recently performed stand-up while 9 months pregnant. I mean, come on, your belly is making most of the jokes. I mean, hello, that's easy. I mean, a week before, she's like, "I think I might have this baby next week. Why not? But in the meantime, let me make you all laugh and smile." That's good energy for the baby that she was standing up there doing that a week before. Congratulations to the happy couple.
Absolutely. I love pregnant women doing stuff. So I really do.
You need a shirt that says that.
I love to see them I don't know, doing plumbing, doing anything.
Doing plumbing?
Whatever, like any basic activity with a big old belly, I'm here for.
I think what you're trying to say is that it's nice to see that women are very active in their late terms and that they're able to do anything that they need to. I remember like when my mother was pregnant with my sister and stuff, and it was like became that 8th or 9th month that she was in bed. It was like,
legs up, like leave me alone.
Yeah, like just don't bother me. But it just shows how far we've come with like medical and stuff.
100%. And I'll end this segment just saying that more gay people need to have more kids. Okay, plain and simple. All right, gay people will teach their children how to love gay people, how to love everyone, no matter what their differences are. We need more kids raised by gay parents.
LGBTQ 1 Minute News. Let's queer up politics. Trump's crackdown on critics falters as cases collapse. The Trump administration's pursuit of political enemies is unraveling. Cases against James Comey and Letitia James were tossed after Judge Cameron Curry ruled prosecutor Lindsay Halligan was illegally appointed. Multiple prosecutors had already declined to indict, including U.S. Attorney Eric Siebert, who resigned after being threatened with firing. While those cases stalled, investigations or indictments still hover over Trump's critics: John Bolton, Mark Kelly, Jack Smith, Adam Schiff, Eric Swalwell, and Lisa Cook. For LGBTQ plus Americans watching political retaliation escalate, the pattern is clear: investigated, indicted, and intimidated. Yet no charges stick. Isn't that amazing? It just shows that, as long as we're, have the courage to stand up and weather that storm, truth will prevail.
Yeah.
And if you're standing in your truth, then that's all we're going to see in the end.
Look, I did a cheer when Comey's case got thrown out because, I don't know the man, obviously, right? But he's got receipts. He's done so much, right? And my, one of my best friends in life is ex-FBI, and she always said wonderful things about him, right? And just his leadership capabilities and how he had just been such an incredible pillar, right? So it was surprising, but not surprising when Trump went after him, So when that got dismissed, I was like, oh my God, he hasn't bought every judge, he has, So, this, again, little things that we need to take as victories.
And I hope the people that are doing these indicting and being part of the process realize, and I think they are starting to realize, if they haven't already, that once you do these illegal things, it's going to come back and bite you, and Trump is going to leave you, hang you out to dry, and blame it on you. So, be careful what you do, because you might end up going to jail for it later on.
Ouch. It's true, though. As a nonprofit LGBTQ media organization, we would like to thank our viewers for supporting our mission to tell the stories of the queer community. We'd also like to thank the generous support of Jets Pizza. Jets is the LGBTQ community's most popular pizza in South Florida.
Take a look around these streets. Do you really think we woke up one day and said, yeah, the world needs more pizza? Nah, just a better one. Better, like the world's best pizza, Jet's Detroit-style pizza. Hand-pressed and baked to the thickest, crispiest crunch. You're welcome. Now visit jetspizza.com and save. Click on hot deals for special offers in your area. Jets, better because it has to be.
These are today's headlines from Queer News Tonight. Our anchors represent the best of our LGBTQ family.
If our community is important to you, share this news with your friends and family. Don't forget to join the conversation on your favorite streaming platform. Queer News Tonight is the only live LGBTQ plus digital television show in the world that is out of the closet and into the headlines.
We need your support. If our community is to grow and then thrive, we must tell our stories and bring them to the attention of the broader world. This is the only place in the world that tells these types of LGBTQ stories in motion and sound. That is the passion of Hotspots magazine, Happening Out Television Network, and Queer News Tonight.
I'm your lead anchor, FayWhat, and I thank you for joining us on behalf of my fellow LGBTQ anchors here at Queer News Tonight, including Edward Otto Zielke and TriniDaddy. We'll see you daily at 8 p.m. to our LGBTQ plus world. We wish you good night.
Night.